Hey guys, this is ArtsyWisdom. My name's Diane. Thank you for coming by. My voice is getting better ever so slowly. um, the impending shutdown, I'm going to look into that. I did meditate on Mr. Muskrat and his impact on our Don the Con pres-elect and that whole GOP cluster F that's happening in Washington. I'm going to see if they're going to come to some sort of resolution for those of us who need them to be adults, right? I'm also going to see if Mike Johnson will keep his job. Spoiler, probably not. I'm going to look into Liz Cheney's that committee, that subcommittee on her illegal activities on the January 6th committee. Also, are the deportations literally going to happen? There was, I think it's Homan that he nominated for his border czar, and we're going to see, he's asking for a minimum of 100,000 beds. And I've looked at this before, but I'll check in again. And yeah, and just a quiet visualization I did earlier to get through the chaos and the noise and the fear and the holidays included in relationship. I posted it here, and you just have to listen. You don't have to do anything else. Close your eyes and listen. And I think it'll help us all, including me. It helped me a little bit. In fact, I'm much more calmer now that I've done it. All right, let's get started. And before I do, thank you for all my new viewers and subscribers, and continue to subscribe if you're new here. Thank you, and hopefully find things of value here. Elon Musk. So when I meditated on him, I saw him. Okay, so I see the month, and I see Trump here, and I see this dark line, kind of like a border. And this is different than the one I see at the end of December. This is something like a shadow. Maybe it's shadow regime or shadow staff, that kind of thing. Maybe that's related. But I saw him unable to reach Trump in a way, which I know it's not true because they're very connected and he's always talking to him or contacting him. But I see the muskrat go around. He scurried, scurried around, and he's going around Trump. And he's not at Trump. It's more like he's going around even Trump and getting to maybe these GOP senators or congressmen, the ones who he has to influence to stop. And maybe it's his Truth Social post or his X posts or whatever, because I know he put up like 100, was it yesterday or the day before? Crazy. And so he is going around and trying to influence them. Not as much Trump, which I find interesting. You know why? In a way, I feel like Trump is he's either annoyed or he's protected. I feel like there's a little thing around him. Because this surprises him a little bit that Elon's being so, he's like dominant. And Trump, like I've said, they can't take up the same oxygen. The two of them can't be in the same room together. So I think right now it's working, but I don't think long term that Elon can, or the muskrat can keep going and do this. But I do think, obviously, the GOP is shutting down, or I think they will. They have a lot of backroom talks. I see so many backroom talks. They're all meeting secretly and in rooms. So much talking. Not with him necessarily, just the congressmen and the senators about this shutdown. So much taking that bill apart because there was a lot of farm aid and FEMA aid. All these things were in it. And it wasn't just pork. And it also gave the congressman a raise. I wonder if they're going to keep that part in there. What do you guys think? Yeah, so shutdown. Slowly, Seven of Swords. Yeah. I see this as kind of a sneaky snake, like a slithering snake, and somebody's being sneaky, slithery snake. But it will slowly come together, but it will lose a lot of its power, this bill, the way it's going to move forward. Yeah. Are they going to make it? Is it going to make it before the deadline tomorrow or tonight? I think I'll be posting this tomorrow. Is it going to be making it? King of Wands and the Hanged Man. That's a sign that somebody wants it to go, but Hanged Man signifies a stalemate, a waiting period, looking at things from a different perspective. I think it's not. I think they're going to get hung up on some stuff, and it's going to be yucky and messy right at Christmas time. Lovely. According to these, now let me go into this place and ask Spirit, what is happening? Will they have a shutdown? And I heard no, but my images, well, I'm looking at this card differently because that popped in my head. The zipper opening, so there is an opening. I almost feel like they're going to go over the weekend. This tiny opening, this period of time, they're going to go slow. But I think that's the image I got. Okay. Yeah, they will. But I think either that or they're going to do a stopgap thing where they're only going to do the very minimum and then they're going to come back to it in January, or they're going to be so busy with all kinds of crap. Meanwhile, Mike Johnson, after this is taken care of, I think he's not going to make it. He does not have the confidence from his people, his Republican cohorts. Judgment. Yeah, there's going to be a judgment and they're going to have a vote. I think they're going to ask for a vote, and it's the Chariot. So it's going to move quickly when it does. It may come out of the blue because after the stopgap thing, which I think this thing may actually go over the weekend because everybody wants to go home. But I think their constituencies at home that they represent will not appreciate that. So I think they're going to work on it into Friday night, maybe even to midnight. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. Not so much Saturday or Sunday. Maybe. Can't quite get it. It's still, time is a funny thing. But yeah, I think they will come up with a stopgap. But Mike Johnson, Page of Swords. How I'm looking at it is he's out there. And I've seen him as the great and powerful house behind the curtain, hiding, running all those knobs, twisting. And he's like, oh, you see me now, because he thinks he's really big, but he, like this guy, even though this is the Page of Swords, he's going to try and talk his way out of this too. And he's going to stand there and say, look, I'm doing this. Look how pretty. But you notice the dandelion is blown away. So it looks fluffy, but it's just little seeds, and it all disappears. So I think his stay is disappearing. But they won't do it before the break. No, that would be, I think, just not a good idea. Although I'm seeing Elon Musk, the Muskrat, having a say in this, and him whispering in Trump's ear going, we need to, or actually he's whispering in these other senators and GOPs, congressmen. And he's whispering and he's saying, you know what? Let's start from fresh. We got to just kill it all. Start from nothing so we can have a fresh slate. And when new leader that listens to us and does what we want, that's what he wants. Gosh. Will they get that? I feel like January 1st or right at the beginning of January. So maybe that's the announcement. I got an announcement on Christmas, around Christmas, which maybe that's this thing. And also first or second week of January, there's a big announcement too. And Page of Cups. They want something that they think they're dreaming. They're dreaming, and they want this perfect speaker that they can't have. And I like what Hakeem Jeffries said. He said, the Republicans are owning this. So when all the Americans or whoever feels the pain of the shutdown, the Republicans own it. Remember that. They own this. Trump was the one who raised the deficit like leaps and bounds, but nobody in the Republican Party wants to talk about that. I know Biden had to do it for the COVID relief. But, okay, Liz Cheney. Let's look at Liz Cheney. I see her sitting before a committee. They are going to try and nail her to the cross and upside down. What does that mean? She's going to be the scapegoat. She's going to be the one they put up and say, oh, I feel bad, because it's like Christ. And they're like, Pontius Pilate and all the people there needing some blood. They want to do that because they can't see past their noses and their wallet. It's terrible. Yeah, I see her getting hung up, not strung up, but upside down cross. But it's funny because I know she's very conservative, and I probably wouldn't vote like her or want her votes previously, but she knew the right thing to do, and she was courageous and lion-hearted. She's a warrior. She's quiet, but she's a warrior. She's doing the right thing. Her dad, not so much, but that's another story. But she did nothing wrong. But the reason that cross is not upright is because they can't get her on anything huge. So they're going to make a scene and make it look crazy. And it's like crazy and weird. And they're going to make a bunch of noise and find some legal argument. And she's not going to be, indicted with anything. It's just going to be a witch hunt, a hoax. They're going to hang her upside down. I'm sorry, people. But she's strong. She'll deal with it. She'll be okay. I do see her in the future, although right now, not any time in the future, like years, she's going to wait. Because all the people there now, you've got to wait for the noise to end and people to leave that are so MAGA. All right, let's look into deportations. I'm sorry, I didn't finish that sentence. My brain works faster than my mouth. She will run for office in the future. I don't know when that is, but it'd be after the big, serious, super right, super MAGA, super Trumpians get their way. Yeah, 9 of Wands. She's never going to end this battle. She's still in there. She's in the fight. And then the Hierophant. Just, staying with the government, doing the right thing. Bigger picture. Big picture. Yeah, she will do that. She's going to keep fighting. All right, deportations. I saw that, like I said, that Homan, that man, only a face a mother could love. He reminds me of somebody else in government, and I can't put my finger on it. But somebody local in Arizona, I can't put my finger on it. They are going to, I told you, they are going to pass that bill, that bipartisan bill, most of it, next year. The one that was already created, they'll probably finesse it or skim it of something and take that money and put it somewhere else that they want to use it for their particular projects. But they're going to get a lot of court judges or a lot of justices or judges to expedite this, people who are coming in for asylum so they can get them adjudicated and in and out the door. Yes or no? Because right now that's what they're doing. They're releasing them, and then they may or may not come back to court, and then they're floating around the states, and some of which are criminals. Most are not, but that's the case. Will they get all those people they want to get out? Texas, I feel like, is going to be, I see, what's his name? Beto O'Rourke, like laying his body in front of a line of people. I see protests. I see other, elected officials, locally, state, and actually also, some military people, not on duty, but people who respect the Constitution and stuff like that. I do see there's a lot of people that will try and put a wall up between these deportations, the czar guy or the people executing this act, and them. They'll get a bunch, and there'll be tears and children and families and but it's funny, I only see it for a short time. And I don't know why that is. Maybe because this bill gets enacted and they say, well, now that we have this money and this, we feel better. We got the main culprits. We got the criminals, kind of thing. And now we're going to just do it real slowly and not let everybody in. I almost feel like that might happen. But because I don't see it lasting very long, the deportation. Or they'll have big bulk at the beginning and then little and here and there, more targeted, pinpointed deportations. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to do a big show of force and then it'll be just pinpointed. Like people that are more, criminally focused, or people that they believe are criminals or that kind of stuff, or part of gangs and that sort of thing. Deportation, 5 of Swords. Yeah, I see a shadow. I see a shadow. Excuse me. And they have all these ulterior motives. Obviously, the racism card, the fear, the stealing of potential. But all the businesses that need immigrants are going to be crying. I'm just this one. And then the Queen of Wands. But eventually, maybe somebody in the Congress or the Senate is going to show up and make it their, they're going to spearhead the fighting it. It'll make it their job or their goal. Or somebody with the fire sign. All right, guys, that was it. Like I said, everything's going to be okay. Imagine that we have been on this earth a very long time. Imagine all of the horrific things that have happened all over the world. Wars, ice ages, dinosaurs even. Humans hurting each other, tribal annihilations, ethnic cleansing, all that has happened over all centuries, millennia. We've gotten through that. Not that we want it to happen, but we're a different place now. We're living at a higher evolved place. So all the people that don't like it are still here. Just because these people are in power and they're making a lot of noise, they will have a lot of pushback. So it's just going to be a mess and noisy. But we will ultimately get the win. It just will be hard fought. Okay? And we're strong. You're strong. All right. Till next time. Take care. Oh, if I don't come back on and before Christmas, you guys have a lovely holiday. Hopefully you have time to relax and enjoy your family or friends, or, stay home or whatever it is you want to do. And you eat all the good food and desserts, because I like desserts.